Well, jumping jelly beans and MAGA hats involved. That was the greatest State of the Union address I've ever seen in my entire life. And it went a little something like this. So Donald Trump, the greatest president of all time, hit the ground running. Talked about the Democrats, talked about corruption, talked about the evils in Washington. He said, stand up on your feet if you believe that Americans should unite to protect Americans and not illegal aliens. Everybody on the right that was Republicans stood up. Everybody on the left that was Democrats sat down. They were like, I love my illegal aliens. You shall do. It was no shocker that Ilhan Omar was yelling at the top of her lungs when Donald Trump was talking about Somalia, and all the corruption. She's like, I think she dropped her wedding ring. The one that she used to propose to her brother. Anywho, and then Donald Trump went on to talk about fraud in Washington. And of all people, surprised Donald Trump. Got a standing ovation from Pocahontas. She was like, and then the camera was on her. She was like, what? I can't stand it, clap. Trump was like, okay, we'll take one. We'll take one. I didn't even see that coming. I didn't even see Pocahontas coming. But we'll take it. We'll take it, America. We'll take it. Oh, man. It was great to see, everybody there, everybody in full support. And, of course, the families of those who were slain, the Democrats could care less about. Trump even remarked about that. He said, these are crazy people. Look, camera, look at them. You see them? These are crazy people. These are crazy people. These are crazy, crazy, crazy people. They're crazy. They're crazy people. I'm looking at crazy people. I see crazy people. I look at crazy people. I've seen crazy people before. But these are the craziest people I've ever seen in my entire life. These are crazy people. These are crazy. These are crazy, 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 crazy people. Crazy people. These are insane, crazy, 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 crazy. Gotta get him out of here. Look at how great. How great. Do it again. You gotta get him out. You gotta get him out. It was wild. It was everything that I thought it was going to be. It was 10 times what it was last year. Because Somalia. And illegal aliens. By the way, Donald Trump finally said what we were all saying. In New York City right now, he said, Mandani, he's a nice guy, crazy guy, but he's a nice guy. I talked to him a couple of times. He's a nice guy. Misguided, though. He wants you to shovel snow with ID, right? 2 forms of ID, Social Security card. But yet, when it comes to a vote in the most important elections, he says, no, you don't need ID. You don't need it. Only for shoveling snow. It's kind of weird, right? My great former city, New York City, is being turned into a war zone. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. The Democrats are crazy. People are dying. They're standing not. They're standing not because they're sitting down and they're watching us make America great again. We will not turn to a third world country. And that's what you have with low IQ Crockett. That's what you have with Somalias. And that's what you have with Pocahontas. And that's what you have with the crazy radical left Democrats. We'll still be giving billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. And we're going to make America great again. So that was the greatest State of the Union address. I'm proud to call President Donald J. Trump an American hero.
What do you think of the
State
speech?
of delusion?
I loved it. He had so much good news to report to the American people. He probably could have gone longer. I thought Tlaib and Omar and a few others really brought shame upon their party and upon themselves.
The Democrats didn't stand to cheer for the people that survived, the family members, things like that. That just, to me, epitomizes just how far the left is and just how crazy they are.
This is a president and an administration that has quite literally facilitated the murder of American citizens in our streets on video, which frankly only makes the president's statement about protecting American citizens and or addressing undocumented immigrants such a fallacious and offensive statement.
President Trump gave an incredibly optimistic vision of the country, bringing in the hockey team. I mean, that brought the house down.
Did you watch the State of the Union address?
Parts of it, yes.
What was your reaction?
It was a very strong performance. I thought that was very polarizing between the Democrats and Republicans.
What really upset me the most was the way Congress and especially Mike Johnson stood up and clapped behind him when he knew that he was blatantly lying.
What's something that you were hoping President Trump would address that he didn't?
Epstein files, obviously.
Screaming at a president, I mean, that's ridiculous. That is so, that they should have removed them, but in a way, I'm glad that they left them sitting there screaming like lunatics.
The things I heard were not truthful about the economy and all the great things that are supposedly happening, and I think the opposite is more the case.
I did not watch the State of the Union address. Usually every year I do. I wasn't looking forward to hearing, unfortunately, what President Trump had to say.
I didn't really have too much of a reaction because my expectations were already that it's so low that it would all just be a bunch of repeated falsehoods.
I thought it was a lot of lies. I thought that it made the country even more divided. It was nothing but anger and anger messaging, which is not what we need right now.
A little bit too much exaggeration on things of the reality of what we're actually going through and living through and going through on a day-to-day basis.
A lot of people are basically 1 or 2 checks away from being homeless or being unsheltered. So it's like you're fighting and arguing with people when the tariffs were free. Like, I understand where your mentality was in the beginning, but now we're suffering for pride and ego.
The reality is what we live every single day, going to work, the grocery stores, cost of living. So the reality might be slightly different from his projected reality that he'd like us to believe. So
I didn't watch it because I gotta go to work. I can't listen to the longest speech ever in the world of history, right?
At the State of the Union, she yells out to the president that he has killed 2 American citizens, and she's not escorted out.
These for public officials
She vehemently heckles the president, and she's not censured.
who blocked the removal of criminal aliens.
She is a member of Congress showing her ass, and she feels justified.
A responsibility to protect Americans.
If this woman honored her responsibility of taking care of Americans, she would have been standing up in support of America.
And he does not acknowledge
What are we smiling about? What's funny?
the fact that 2 Americans, 2 of my constituents, 2 of our neighbors were killed.
We're living in parallel realities, and those cases are under investigation.
And it was important for me to just remind the American people.
What you did was take the opportunity to spew your hatred.
That the president
Who's obsessed with who?
and his administration was responsible for killing 2 American citizens.
Peaceful protesting and paid actors. And I'm going to leave it right there. I don't believe for a second Ilhan Omar is here for the American people. She's here for herself and her community. Her rage was palpable, and she wasn't saying what she really wanted to say. She knew she would go to jail if she had. These people can't hide. The truth always comes out. This is a TDS issue and lack of accountability and responsibility for some of the fucked up things she's been involved in.
We all agree on that point. I just think that the reality is that an act like the SAVE Act is very likely more aimed at voter suppression and at keeping key demographics that the Republican Party does not want voting to not show out and vote. I think very often minority demographics.
That's not true.
No.
So this is the thing where the suggestion is it's going to keep the black vote down. I've got 2 black panelists here. Ajwa?
That's not
Do you have ID and proof of citizenship?
Yeah, and if I need a copy of my birth certificate, it's just a matter of going online or going up to the department and asking for it and showing my information to get it. I mean, to say that it would negatively affect a minority group because they're somehow not educated enough to get these documents is completely outrageous.
Annie?
I just love it when white liberals try to explain things to black conservatives as if they are lesser than them, and that is exactly what was going on in that interview. God bless him, but the Democrat voter in that panel was trying to explain that the SAVE Act is actually voter suppression because it's asking for voters to show their IDs, in which the black conservative in response is saying, you're kind of racist in saying that I am not smart or educated enough to be able to go get my ID so I can vote. So props on her for standing her ground. Who do you agree with, the guy or the girl? Leave a comment down below and make sure to follow for more political updates.
There was one defining moment in the State of the Union address that everybody should be paying attention to. In the middle of the State of the Union, President Donald Trump said that the role of government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. And then he asked Congress to stand if they agreed. And every Republican stood up. And almost every Democrat stayed seated. And that visual, that's the headline. Not the applause lines, not the policy details, that moment. Because the State of the Union isn't just about words, it's about priorities. And in that one shot, you saw the divide in Washington crystal clear. On one side, Republicans standing for border security and immigration enforcement. And on the other side, Democrats refusing to stand when it comes to protecting American citizens over illegal immigration. Whether you support Donald Trump or not, you cannot ignore that image. After years of debate over the border crisis, immigration policy, and what happened under the Biden administration, that moment summed up where both parties stand going forward. And I'm telling you, when people look back at the State of the Union, that clip, they're going to be replaying. You need to have people that represent you and your interest, not the interests of non-citizens. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Appreciate you.
So what's up, beautiful and amazing people? Guys, in today's video, I want us to talk about the State of the Union address, which was actually done by the President of America, His Excellency Donald Trump. So a lot of Americans have come out to react on what he said. So some are positive, some are negative. And remember that in each and every country in the world, you know, once in a while, the president has to come out and talk to the people of his or our nation concerning several things that have been happening in the country, what he plans for the country. I mean, all that. So in America, it happened just some few hours ago, and I can tell you that there was a mixed reaction. And something that really shocked the world is the fact that the Democrats are literally they don't want to associate themselves with this new administration. Remember, it's the Republican who are actually the current administration in America. So for some Americans, they believed that, you know, they are having the worst ever administration, and for some, they believe that it's one of the best of the best of the best. So, my good people, you know, you could see some Americans in the comment section saying that, you know, in 10 minutes time, I'd already switched off the TV and went to sleep because I was just tired. But for some other people, they believe that, you know, Trump is the best. I mean, the president loves America truly. The president wishes the best for the American people, and they believe that, you know, the president is there for the American citizens, and that he wants to protect them. He has the energy, he has the art, he has the willingness to protect them. So, I mean, for some it was fantastic. I mean, extremely positive State of Union speech. So the way the Democrats were behaving is something that caught everybody's attention. And, you know, you could see that they were literally not, you know, they were not interested in what the president was saying. They were like, you know, all those things that they were saying actually. I mean, who has the guts, who has the energy and the confidence? Because for such things, you can't be taken to to the courts of law, guys, because there's no evidence so far that the president has done all those things, and yet they are shouting left, right, center. I mean, as an American, not really as an American, but you could see that so many Americans, they actually see the need for themselves to wake up, and they believe that the Democrats are the enemies of the American citizens. They can do anything just to be against the current administration. They can do anything just to disassociate themselves. They can do anything just to make America fall. That's what some people believe. But if you look at the polls, according to CNN, 64% of the people that listened to the speech from the beginning to the end were very positive about the speech, and 36% were negative. And that tells you there is a very, very big shift in the American politics, and you can see the division. You can see that people are divided in opinion. Even from our clips here that we just watched, you could see that there was different opinions on the president's speech. Others believe that the speech was, MAGA kind of thing, just masquerading as a State Union address. And I don't know what to think about that, because some people were like, this is just another MAGA rally, just masquerading as a State of Union address. Anyway, my good people, tell me in the comment section what you think about the president's address, what you think about the reaction of the Democrats lawmakers, especially Ilhan Omar. Tell me what you think about the future of America. So thank you so much if you watched the clip up to this point. I truly appreciate your presence. I'll see you in the next video.